I think one of the things that makes Dr. Styler exceptional is the time that she spends with patients.
The second the door shut, it was just Dr. Styler and I, and there was no time frame. She wasn't on the clock having to push people through. She sat there and she listened to everything I had to say and was genuinely interested.
It's very important that you have a doctor that understands and you feel comfortable asking questions or getting advice on things that you might not be totally comfortable about normally.
Good morning, my name is Adam Krim and I'm the founder of Drive Consulting. At Drive Consulting, I work with my clients helping them clarify their goals, getting past their inner blocks, and devising action plans to achieve those goals. We do this by teaching people new perspectives, new ways of thinking. And that's really cuts into who I am. Essentially, I am a teacher. Something that each of us learns in our own lives, and each of you in your own fields can bring that passion if you get in touch with it, if you recognize it, get in touch with it, and bring it to the table every day of your lives. Over the years, I've come to realize that for many people, there are two main missing ingredients to achieving the successes they desire. The first is lack of specificity with regard to setting their goals. This is important for the simple reason that without a specific goal set, there's no way to devise an action plan to achieve the goal, and more importantly, there's no way to measure how close one is to achieving the goal. Specific. That is the one ingredient that's missing in most people's thought processes when they think about goals, when they think of plans, when they think about anything. They latch onto vagueness.
LSW Chauffeured Transportation provides more than just transportation to its clients. It creates an experience. As our client, you'll enjoy the highest quality of service in the industry, an impeccably dressed and punctual chauffeur, a meticulously clean vehicle, and chauffeurs who know multiple routes to their destination. When you travel on business or with your family, you want the ultimate in safety and security. From the moment our clients step into our vehicles, they are whisked away from the pressures of daily life. And we do it all for one reason: to provide our customers with the ultimate in transportation reliability.
Our mediation and arbitration practice group offers our clients an opportunity to resolve disputes in a confidential, cooperative, and cost-effective manner. Our group includes the Honorable Sandra Miller, Adam Krim, Abby Rose-Marin, and Kristen Panisi. Prior to joining McCarthy Finger as Chief Counsel, Judge Miller served for 21 years as a family court, Supreme Court, and appellate division judge. Abby comes to us with a background in law, mental health, and conflict resolution. Kristen Panisi has focused her practice in family and matrimonial law.
Hospice and Palliative Care of Westchester is so much more than you think.
Hospice entered our life at a very difficult time and gave us the tools and the time to be with my dad. And when we couldn't be there, I felt I had this amazing new member of our family that gave him the same amount of love, the same amount of compassion as we did.
He arranged for us to get into hospice, and our focus shifted from trying to extend Mom's life to trying to ensure that it was as comfortable and dignified as possible for as long as possible.
So I provide a lot of the medical support and direction for the pediatric palliative care team. We have team bi-weekly meetings where our entire team gathers and goes over in detail each child's situation and case. In the meeting, we involve both medical attention for the child through nurses, We have social workers there, we have chaplaincy, we have child life, music therapists, pet therapists, and together is where we can provide complete care for the child.
As a social worker, when I come into the home, many times the family's in a state of crisis. They have a diagnosis maybe that they weren't expecting, or they've been told that the patient may be close to the end of life. And so I try my best to bring in sort of a calm presence, listening to the family, encouraging open communication, joint decision making, and really helping them to sort of understand that there still is a lot that can be done at this time in their life.
Mike, buy a used car from this guy?
Diane,
Well,
I would never buy a used car from this guy. I'd buy 2 used cars from this guy. Look at his face, his pose. It exudes confidence, expertise, authority. Bernie looks like someone I might be able to trust. And did he nurture an environment of trust? He sure did. But then he misused that trust and led hundreds, perhaps thousands of unsuspecting clients down the path of economic ruin, all the while uncaringly stoking the fires of his own personal gain.
2 used cars? You'd go back for a third and you know it. Bernard Madoff was an absolute mastermind, a genius at creating that trustful environment. He had the millionaires, billionaires, and countries of the world turning over their assets to him. There were literally lines waiting to invest with this man. The problem is, he created the trustful environment, but he wasn't honest, and he wasn't sincere in what he did, and these 3 all go together. It's no different for us in the service organization. When we provide services to somebody, we have to be trustworthy, we've got to be honest in what we're doing, and overall, we have to be sincere in the delivery of that. Talking about the path to integrity, we know Bernie's in jail, he's going to spend the rest of his life in there. Our path to integrity is supported by our principle in ethical actions.
Where can you find your dream home? For many, there's perhaps no better place to live than in the town of Bedford, New York. This tranquil locale has been a prized destination for years. Known for its vast estates and quiet country lifestyle, the area is home to many of Westchester's most distinguished properties. The village is charming, the schools are award-winning, and the commute to Manhattan is easy. It's the perfect place to come home to at the end of the day. A rich history, a breathtaking setting, important classical architecture. Welcome to Beechwood, one of the grand historic Hudson River mansions of the Gilded Age. The story of Beechwood began over 200 years ago, and through the centuries, the home was gradually transformed into the architectural masterwork that stands today. In 1906, renowned financier and founder of the Bank of New York, Frank Vanderlip, and his wife Narcissa, co-founder of the League of Women Voters, purchased the property, and Beechwood quickly became one of the great estates of the era. Celebrated philanthropists, Mr. and Mrs. Frank Vanderlip hosted many events at Beechwood, and notables such as Eleanor Roosevelt, Sarah Bernhardt, Isadora Duncan, Henry Ford, and Annie Oakley were among the many illustrious guests. The Wright brothers even landed one of their biplanes on the grounds, which were designed by legendary Central Park landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted. The grand residence, divided into 3 separate homes in the 1980s, is listed on the National Register of Historic Homes and recalls the elegance and grandeur of a less hurried era.